I love our country, and it hurts so bad when we see a hurricane like Ian come and do so much destruction down in Florida. But I have to tell you, it makes me think of another hurricane that's coming. This one's a little different. It's a financial hurricane, and I truly believe it's coming, and it's going to hit the country that I love so much, and it is going to be devastating. And the question we have to ask is just the same with all hurricanes. When is it going to hit, and how intense, how devastating will it be to our people? Now, I've said this often. If I went back to college, I think I would major in economics. I love reading about it and understanding it, but believe me, I am no economist, and I wonder how much of it is really scientific anyway. So I don't fully understand the liquidity or the low liquidity in the markets right now. I don't understand the craziness of the bond market. And I know from that we're supposed to be able to, sort of foretell the future. I can't do that. Go do what I do. Watch CNBC or go read your, financial magazines. But I do know some things that I remind you of because you know these too. And this is why I fear this economic hurricane that's coming. Number one is inflation. Last month, 8.3%. You've heard of that. It disturbs me that the White House just minimizes it. This is a terrible thing. And I remind you again, it's caused by government, 100% government. They put us in this mess through all that reckless, endless, throwing out cash that was backed up by nothing. And the Fed just pouring the money to all the big banks into Wall Street is just incredible. And it's finally caught up with us. By the way, the country's leading the world in inflation, Venezuela and Iran. So their economies are crashing. Yet this is who Joe Biden wants to do deals with. That's another story. Do you know what country is doing the best on inflation in the world? Interesting, it's the one country that did not shut down for COVID and did not spew money out like it was crazy. Sweden. They have no inflation problem. We got to deal with this. A second area is, of course, the Fed raising rates, and they're going to keep doing this. They have to. This is the only way the government can stop this inflation. Let me tell you how bad this is right now. After the last rate increase. Let's say you're going to buy a house and you had enough money to put 20% down and you could afford $2,500 a month. Back in Donald Trump days, you could have bought a $750,000 house. Today, $450,000. And they're going to keep raising rates. We haven't seen the worst of it by far. One of the most astounding numbers for me is GDP. They say it's going to be just 0% for this year, the entire year. When Biden became president, he was handed the gift of a lifetime as far as the economy goes. We've been through this terrible time with COVID. Now everything is open and there was a vaccine. I can't tell you why we've not had more productivity. It makes no sense to me. And the last key point, Larry Kudlow, who is an economist for Reagan as well as Donald Trump, he always talks about with our currency, King dollar. It is the most important data point in all of the area of macroeconomics. Right now, the dollar is strong. It's amazing. Here's the problem. It's the only strong currency in the world right now. Everything else is falling. And I'm afraid that the only reason ours is staying up there is because it's the last man standing. I'm afraid it's going to fall. And when it does, man, close up your doors. The hurricane is coming.